She reached across me for the sugar like I was furniture. No eye contact, no acknowledgement, just her shoulder brushing mine as she moved past. The phone in her grip commanded more attention than I'd received all week. "Morning, Sarah," I tried, holding 2 cups and hope for conversation. She hummed something non-committal while scrolling through notifications that lit up her face with interest I couldn't remember earning lately. "Thought we might visit the farmer's market today," I ventured. "Get those tomatoes you like." She responded, opening the refrigerator. "Busy day planned." "Busy with what?" The question hung between us like smoke. She glanced at me as if I'd interrupted something important. "Just things. You know how Saturdays are." No, I didn't know. Saturdays used to be ours. Now they belonged to her phone, her mysterious plans, her need to be anywhere but present with me. I set the cups down harder than necessary. "Sarah, what's happening here?" "Nothing's happening," she said, pouring cream. "You're overthinking again. There are countless ways someone can tell you that you don't matter. That phrase has remarkable efficiency." 2 weeks later, I stopped guessing what she needed. I'd spent 14 days trying to decode sighs, interpret shoulder shrugs, and translate the language of indifference. "Enough. New rule," I announced over dinner. "If you need something, use actual words. If something's bothering you, name it. I'm done playing detective in my own home." She looked up from her plate like I'd spoken in tongues. "What are you even talking about? You've been communicating in code for half a month. I'm requiring plain English now." She laughed, not the good kind. "You're being ridiculous." "I'm being clear. Response required." Her expression shifted. Calculating. "You're doing that teacher voice again." "Adult voice," I corrected. "The one that expects participation in conversation." She checked her phone. "Lisa needs me tonight. Some crisis with her roommate." "Lisa needs you more than your husband does?" The question landed like I'd hoped it would. Direct. Unavoidable. "I can't be everywhere at once, David." Not asking for everywhere. Asking for here. Asking for now. Part 3. The price of admission. By month 3, I'd learned her playbook. Small gestures when she sensed me pulling back, followed immediately by requests that proved the gestures were transactions, not gifts. "I made your favorite pasta," she'd say, then add, "Maybe we could book that weekend getaway you mentioned?" The invoice always came attached to the kindness. At Tom's barbecue, she turned our troubles into entertainment. "David's idea of romance is stopping at the hardware store," she announced to the circle of neighbors, wine glass raised like a prop. "He gets excited about discount lumber sales." The audience chuckled on cue. I set my plate down. "New boundary," I said calmly, not raising my voice. "We don't make jokes about our relationship for laughs. Not here, not anywhere." "It was just teasing," she protested. "Call it whatever you want. The line exists now." Tom shifted uncomfortably. Sarah's smile froze. "So I can't even joke around?" she asked. "You want to tease? Keep it between us. I'll return the favor." I stood up. "Thanks for dinner, Tom. I'm heading out." "Already?" Tom asked, confused. "Yep. Sarah can fill you in on the hardware store humor." "I'll be at home." The anniversary dinner she'd planned became the closing argument I wouldn't attend. She'd spent the day arranging the scene. The shirt she wanted me to wear, the reservation she'd made without asking if I wanted to celebrate a month of feeling invisible. "Where are you going?" she demanded when she heard my keys. "Away." "Away from what?" "From performing gratitude for scraps." Her mouth opened, then closed. "You can't just leave." "I told everyone we'd be there." "That's exactly the problem," I said. "You told everyone except the person who'd have to show up. If you walk out that door, don't come back." I looked at her. Really looked. The woman who'd spent weeks treating me like an appliance, then expected me to dress up and smile for her friends. That's the clearest thing you've said in months. I left. The cabin by the lake that my brother lent me had one rule: mind your own business. The water followed it perfectly. I sat on the dock with coffee and silence, both of which cost nothing and delivered exactly what they promised. When I finally turned my phone back on, the messages told a familiar story. Anger, then bargaining, then blame. The greatest hits of someone discovering that boundaries have consequences. 6 months later, I met Anna at a bookstore. She asked what I was reading and listened to the answer. We talked about books, then coffee, then life. Simple conversations between adults who respected each other's time. "You're different," she said after we'd known each other a month. "How so?" "You don't need me to be anyone but myself." I thought about Sarah, about the exhausting auditions I'd performed for attention that got rationed like a scarce resource. "That's not different," I told Anna. "That's just honest. The moral isn't complicated. Adults aren't vending machines. You don't feed them attention coins and expect dinners, weekends, and repairs to tumble out. Respect comes first. Everything else follows. Skip the respect, and you'll get exactly what you built: a stage with no willing actor. I kept my dignity. Sarah kept her conditions. We both live with the results, just in very different places.